Much better.
So everybody's here, right? It's going to be here.
Mr. Turner, how are you, sir? Good to see you this evening.
Thank you.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. And do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Give me a roll call, please.
Most definitely. Happy April. Councilmember Miller.
Yes.
Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Lane.
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza.
Here.
Vice Mayor Best is absent, and Mayor Croft.
Thank you. Now it's time for introduction, presentations, and proclamations. The first one is the Lions Noon Timers Club. Come on up here.
It's a great song.
It's for you, Mayor.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Bernie Podolsky. I'm the president of the Chino Valley Noontime.
And I'm Ruth Barr, and I'm a noontime in Lions too.
Thank you. Proclamation, Chino Valley Noontimers Lion Club celebrating 10 years of service. Whereas Lion Clubs International, established in 1917, is the largest service club organization in the world, made up of friends, family, and neighbors who share a core belief that community is what we make it. And whereas the Chino Valley Noontimers Lions Club, a local service club of Lion Clubs International, is celebrating 10 years of service to the citizens of the town of Chino Valley, its surrounding areas, and the state of Arizona. And whereas in their 10 years of service, members contribute to the town by creating a more sustainable, resilient community and providing education, career skills, and leadership abilities for those who serve. Whereas members have unselfishly dedicated their time and talent in many ways. Whereas they have provided aid and services to the blind and visually impaired, held clothing and food drives, and assisted with natural disaster relief. Whereas they have supported local youth through drug awareness programs, Breakfast with Santa, and other outreach activities through local schools. Whereas they have sponsored the town's annual 4th of July celebration and participated in many others. Now, therefore, I, Darrell L. Croft, Mayor of the town of Chino Valley, do hereby recognize, commend, and pay tribute to the Chino Valley Noontimers Lion Club for 10 years of unlimited, undaunted, and priceless service to the Chino Valley community. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the town of Chino Valley to be affixed to this document on the 11th day of April, 2017. Congratulations. Would you like to say something?
We'd just like to thank the town and everybody in the town and the council and Mr. Mayor to be recognized. It's always nice to have recognition, I guess. And we're one of several, as you know, in this town we have quite a few service organizations. So it's nice to be recognized, and we appreciate the support the town has given us. Thank you so much.
Mr. Duffy, would you come up here a minute?
Woo woo.
No.
You don't really know how much, do you? This is from Government Finance Officers Association. It's a news release. Chicago, Illinois. The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to the town of Chino Valley by Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada, GFOA, for their comprehensive annual financial report called a CAFR. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. An award of financial reporting achievement has been awarded to the individual or individuals or department designated by the government as primarily responsible for preparing the award-winning CAFR, and that's our finance department. The CAFR has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program, which includes demonstrating a constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly communicate its financial story and motivate potential users and users group to read the CAFR. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't do any of this without the support of management and, of course, council, but also my staff, who are just rock on, the best I've ever worked with in my career. So it's Cindy Sandlin and Kat Lordy, and they work really hard, and what they do is help me to be able to prepare these reports and receive these awards. So I got to give them most of the credit.
Fantastic.
Okay, we have call to the public. Call to the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any issue within the jurisdiction of the council that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. The total time for call to the public may be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration, and decision at a later date, or responding to criticism. Is there anyone who would like to speak this evening? Hearing none, I'll move on to response to the public. We do not have a response to the public this evening. So I'll go on to current events and summaries. This item is for information only. The mayor, any council member, or town manager may present a brief summary or report of current events or ask a staff member to provide the same. Presentation on information requested by the mayor or council will be made and questions answered. No action will be taken. Any presentations?
No, I just have a couple things to add.
Sure.
The town's Easter egg hunt is this Saturday. I believe it starts at 11 o'clock, and it's at the community center again this year. And also, this is not town related, but I want to give a big congratulations to our Heritage Middle School students. They took home 11 state championship titles for archery this past week. So thank you for them.
That's great.
As the Roads and Streets Chairman, we've had a lot of discussion in the town about the 2 North interchange and the amount of traffic that's going to be anticipated there at 2 North and the highway. Our Public Works Director is currently vetting different engineering companies. We're going to actually bring in a professional traffic consultant and start getting some ideas on how we might be able to alleviate that. So we are actively working on it, and so the people that are concerned about it, we are doing something.
Thank you, Councilman Mendoza. Any other?
Nope.
Town manager, do you have?
If you guys could indulge me for a minute, I'd like to read a letter that we got from a citizen on some of the great customer service they're getting. Cecilia, I just wanted to write a note and express my sincere appreciation for the excellent staff you have at the Development Services Office. I went in to get a permit to put an addition on the side of our home, and they were so helpful, respectful, and friendly. Jim was a real blessing helping with the plans. He was amazing. I'm a homeowner who does his work himself because he can't afford to hire a contractor, and having someone like Jim to work with has been awesome. Thank you for your excellent staff. I'm blessed to live in Chino Valley. May God bless you all. Tim. Just wanted to share that with you and remind council that next Tuesday night we have a study session with the chamber at the chamber office at 6 p.m.
Town attorney, do you have anything?
Phyllis?
Phyllis? Hearing Phyllis?
Is she with us?
She can't hear us. Do you have anything, Phyllis? Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Well, I understand shaking your head. I had kids too. We're going to the action items. The council may vote to recess the public meeting and hold an executive session in any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A3. for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive sessions are not open to the public. Well, I've gone by consent agenda, haven't I?
Consent,
Well, I'll go back to
please.
consent agenda. And no action may be taken in executive session. I'm going to go back to 6 consent agenda because
I know.
You-
I'm just picky about stuff like
you
that.
told me. And I'm glad I have you along for the ride. Okay, consent agenda. Those items listed below are considered to be routine and must be enacted by one motion. Any council member may request to remove an item from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. Anyone have anything to remove?
Not me.
Would you read the consent agenda, please? Ms. Lewis?
You gave me a tough one. 6A, consideration and possible action to accept the March 14, 2017 regular meeting minutes. B, consideration and possible action to accept the March 21, 2017 special meeting minutes. C, consideration and possible action to accept the March 21, 2017 study session minutes. And D, consideration and possible action to accept the March 28, 2017 regular meeting minutes.
Can I have a motion?
I would like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now let's get on to action items. I just ran away down the road, didn't I?
You're on your way.
Let's go with 7A, consideration and possible action to approve ordinance number 17830, approving the development plan for the Village North Planned Area Development and changing the zoning classification of approximately 9.92 acres of real property generally located 1,200 feet east of the intersection of State Route 89 and Road 2 North from MR/MHP-4 multifamily residential mobile home park, 4-acre minimum zoning district to MR MPH-4 zoning district with a planned area development overlay. Applicant Don Corsi and Sam Maloof. Ms. Mayday.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Before you, you have the final development plan for the Village North apartments that are proposed behind the, whoops, not Phyllis, the existing Safeway store. It's about approximately 9.22 acres. Council's seen this project before. Just real quickly, the project proposes 154 1-, 2-, and 3-bedroom apartments in 3 phases. The applicant will be dedicating a 50-foot road right-of-way after they've completed construction along this east boundary of the town, and this will provide the spine, if you will, for a road that will provide interior circulation for the area bounded by Perkinsville Road to the north, 89, State Route 89 to the west, 2 north to the south, and Road 1 east to the east. The applicant is present this evening. If you have any questions of him, he has made the corrections that the town or the Planning and Zoning Commission requested. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this project again last Tuesday at their regularly scheduled April meeting and voted unanimously to forward it to Town Council with a recommendation for approval. Again, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. The applicant is present as well.
I understand as part of this agreement, there's an impact study. Again, the concern is 2 north and the traffic in that area.
Correct. That is one of the stipulations. I'll scroll down to those here real quick. Actually, that's the first stipulation, that they will do a traffic impact analysis and make the required changes. Given the width of the right-of-way that the town already has at 89A and 2 North, it's likely that those changes will be largely striping. There's not a lot of road width for, or even existing unused right-of-way to expand road width a whole lot. We will probably be able to get one more turning lane in there, but that would be about it. But they are obligated to make the improvements as required by the traffic impact analysis.
Questions?
I don't think so. I think everything was covered.
Questions on this side?
No.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Look at my goggles on.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'm just looking at this item. Never mind, I thought we had to have a public hearing, but
No.
just so you're clear, not only are approving the development plan, you're also approving the ordinance rezoning
Yes.
the property. Okay.
Okay, make a motion to accept the recommended approval of the development plan for the Village North Planned Area Development and changing the zoning classification of approximately 9.92 acres of real property generally located 1,200 feet east of the intersection of State Route 89 and Road 2 North from MR MHP-4 Multifamily Residential Mobile Home Park, 4-acre minimum, zoning district to MR MHP-4 zoning district with a planned area development overlay.
Thank you. There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Let's go on to 7B, consideration of possible action to approve contributions to the Yavapai Regional Transit to support transporting children from Paulin area to Chino Valley to the center, the aquatic center, for the 2017 swim season. Town manager, do you have something?
Sorry. Just wanted to tell you that we've been working with the Yavapai Regional Transit on the program of hauling children in from the Paulin area into our aquatic center. They're going to look for donations to get into the pool. These are for some of the maintenance fees that would go with the for the buses.
Mr. Rum, do you have something to say tonight? You always have something to say. I've got the gavel here, so don't get...
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. My name is Ron Romley. I'm the chairman of the board of Yavapai Regional Transit and the founder. We're kind of looking for support from the council again this year. This is the third year that we have done this. Over the past 2 years, we've hauled approximately 300 plus kids to the swimming pool. In transit terms, that's not very satisfactory. It's got to go up. The first time, the cost to YRT was over $3,000, and we're a nonprofit, and that took quite a bit of chunk of change. So my board directed us to cut the service. What we were doing is your pool is open in the, let's say, morning swim and then the afternoon swim. We did both of those the first time, and we didn't get a lot of kids at the end of for the evening swim. So my board directed us to cut it back. We went and did the morning swim last year, and it was a little bit better. But that one cost us $1,600. Last year, the council gave us $1,000, so it only cost us actually $600. We try to keep our costs down by using volunteer drivers, and so that's also included. We did some brainstorming to try to figure out what can we do to entice these children to come to the pool during the summertime. And we run 5 days a week. We don't run on the weekends, but 5 days a week from the first week that the pool is out until just before the pool closes. So during the brainstorming, we got to thinking, what would happen if we could get sponsors to be able to supply or donate money to this cause, and we could get the kids in for free. So what we have done, we've had 2 meetings already with Paco and with the town, and what we have done is we have decided that that would probably work. We already had $550 donated by the service clubs of Chino Valley. We put that in. We've got another promise of a large donation coming from a church, but we don't have it yet. But as it stands right now, at $5 a ticket, we can haul about 270 kids. I think I got it right. 270 kids free. Now, Paco and the Paulin folks are going to track these people so that, we all have a tendency, if we get something for free, we're going to take 2 or 3 of them. We want to make sure that all the kids out there in Paulin have a chance to utilize. We have found out that there's a lot of large families out there that aren't very well off. And rather than some of these mothers taking 1 or 2 kids and say, well, I'll pay for you, but leave the other 2 or 3 at home, that doesn't work. So we've organized with Paco and with the Paulden people how we're going to do this to track the tickets to see how things work. I wrote the town a letter, I don't know if you have a copy of that in your deal, asking for a minimum of $1,000 to help us out again, or more, whatever you guys feel that it's worth to you. We are paying the pool the dollar value that they charge anybody. So that dollar value comes out of the $5 ticket. We are running round trip 50 cents each way. So that's $1 for us. And, you know, we're looking for support. We're still out there looking, and the Paulden people are looking for more sponsors. Whatever we don't use this year will fall over, turn over into next year. So we're hoping for your support, and I think it's a good thing. It's going to help the town with regards to getting more people into the pool. And, you know, we're housed here in Chino Valley. This is where our heart is, and we're going to try everything we can to get the Chino Valley people and the Paulden people to where they need to go. So that's all I had. Do you have any questions?
How many trips, when you say you're doing the morning, is that just one trip in and one trip back?
One, yes. We'll pick them up. We drive. Actually, it's 4 trips in bus terms because we have to drive out there, we'll load up the bus, drive them, drop in the pool, not drop them in the pool, put them out in front.
I got you. It's okay.
And then we'll go back. I think it starts at 12. Last year it stopped at 2:30. We're right there at 2:30, and we load the kids back up and haul them back out.
Okay.
Questions this side? I have 2 questions. Number 1 is, do we want to support them again this year? And number 2 is, how much do we want to support them?
Where's this money coming from?
Town manager?
Joe?
Joe?
I'm
Joe?
going to guess contingency. No,
Award
bad
winning.
guess.
We budget money in the mayor and council's budget for promotional type things like this.
Which is the amount of?
Your budget's probably around $5,000 a year, and this is just off the top of my head for this type of activity. So it's completely up to your discretion on how much you spend of that.
Question?
No,
I need a motion to approve this.
Sure.
Do we need to decide on the amount?
Well, let's prove that we're going to do something, then
Okay.
we'll come back. And
Well, do you want me to put an amount in there, or do you want to?
You want, how much do you want to? It costs them $1,600 a year. I'd like to see $1,500 in there this year.
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
I'd like, it costs $1,600 a year. I'd like to see $1,500 a year.
I got no problem with that.
Okay.
That way, there's some kids out there that need to come in and use our pool. And it's a good gesture as a friend.
Yeah. Okay, make a motion to move to approve contributing $1,500 to Yavapai Regional Transit to support transporting children from the Paulden area to the Chino Valley Aquatic Center for the 2017 swim season.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, let's go on to item C. Consideration and possible action to authorize staff to submit an application to the USDA-RD for the Rural Development Business Grant in the amount not to exceed $100,000 and authorize the mayor to sign the same. Ms. Mayday.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you, you have a, actually, based on what we've seen before, pretty simple grant application for funding through the USDA. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has funds for small communities. This is a competitive grant program. The state of Arizona gets $300,000 a year for this program. Last year, the USDA awarded 7 grants ranging from $25,000 to $70,000. So the idea is to apply for this grant. We can use it to fund the balance of the master planning services for Old Home Manor Industrial Park. And then, as this is an annual program, is to come back and look at this every year for other needs. It's money targeted for economic and community development in rural communities across the country. And in talking to the USDA, they're telling me that these funds frequently go unspent. So I'm sure we can help them with that problem.
And we're going to use this to do what? The fund?
To fund the balance of the Old Home Manor master plan with EPS Group.
Okay. Questions? This side.
Not for me.
Questions this side?
No.
Do we have a motion?
Okay. Make a motion to authorize staff to prepare and submit an application to the USDA RD Rural Business Development Grant, RDBG, in an amount not to exceed $100,000, and authorize the mayor or in his absence, the vice mayor, to sign the application.
Motion, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item D, consideration of possible action to direct staff regarding the process to fill a vacancy on the town council created by the resignation of council member Susan Chuki. Ms. Lewis, do you want? Why don't you, can you talk a little bit about the process and times?
Grab all the paraphernalia I'm carrying around here. Okay. Basically, what we're doing, we would like to propose pretty much what we did in 2015 when we had other vacancies. And we're going to take about a 2-month process to advertise. We have to advertise for at least 15 days. And in 2015, we advertised for 15 days. And then we start accepting applications. And let's see. On page 71 is our proposed timeline. So we'll run the news release and the classified ad and the review and the courier, everything starting next Monday. And then we get it out to the media outlets. We'll put it on Channel 57, town website, bulletin boards, all that, social media. We'll start accepting applications and then accept them through May 1. And then staff and I believe the mayor also has requested we'll just review the applications to make sure we have all the information we need from the applicants. And the proposal is that depending on how many we get, if we only get 4 or 5, the appointment subcommittee will most likely want to just interview all of them. If we get 12, 10, 12 more, the appointments committee would like to sit down and review them and then select just 5 to interview. And then we'll forward the top 4 or 5 to council, and then council will have the option to schedule an executive session if they want to ask any questions, do a brief interview, or they can just take the recommendation of the appointment subcommittee. And then we'll select a candidate we're looking at doing that the meeting of June 13th. We will let all of the finalists know to please read up on their open meeting laws, because they're required to do that before taking an oath, but we can actually have them seated at the meeting on the 13th.
And this appointment is good until December of 18?
Until the next election, which is November of 2018. So if the person you select wants to stay on, they'll have to run in the election.
Okay.
And
Questions?
we kind of, we put some stuff in the packet,
Yes, we have.
the ads that we use and the application that we use. So if anybody has any comments or changes they would like to make on the paperwork,
I think we've
speak
been
up.
through this before, and it seemed
Yes,
to
we
work okay
have.
the last time, so. Any question from anybody? Uh-oh, here comes this. No, okay, he was just moving around.
He'd like to run.
No, you're not qualified, sorry.
Sorry, Craig.
Okay, I'd like a motion.
Okay, make a motion to direct staff to initiate the process to fill the council vacancy created by resignation of council member Susan Chuka, as discussed.
Is there a
I'll second
second?
it. Second.
Motion is second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
We're done.
Carries. Next recommendation. What's the next motion?
I make a
Alden.
motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
I believe this is a record. Is this a record?
This is a record,
Almost.
almost.